Most actors and actresses see Hollywood as a magical place when they start thinking about a career in acting. But the same place can be quite ruthless as well, especially for actors and actresses Hollywood has refused to cast. Let's take a look at 10 celebs who have been banned from Hollywood. Number 10. Kirk Cameron. Kirk Cameron first entered Hollywood quite young. He was a child actor and appeared in a few different TV shows and films. He's mostly known for his role as Mike Seaver in the sitcom Growing Pains for 7 seasons. His most famous movies include Like Father, Like Son, and Listen to Me. However, it is not his acting skills that he's mostly known for, but his radical Christian views. He spends his days talking about his beliefs toward religion, homosexuals, and more. This led to him being essentially blacklisted from Hollywood. Whether it is doing interviews on TV shows or social media, Cameron has trouble keeping his religious views and beliefs to himself. Number 9. Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser used to be a huge star in the late 90s and early 2000s. He appeared in films such as Bedazzled and The Mummy. However, after the 2000s, Fraser was seen less and less frequently in movies. Although, when asked about why he was blacklisted from Hollywood, he blamed an encounter with the former president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association for it all. According to Brendan, he had been sexually assaulted by Philip Burke at the Beverly Hills Hotel in 2003. However, he claims that since he had resisted, the HFPA has rarely invited him back to the Golden Globes ever since. Although Burke denies anything of the sort ever happening, claiming in his 2014 memoir that he had only pinched Fraser's behind as a joke. Moreover, Fraser does admit that other factors may have contributed to his lack of Hollywood presence, saying, quote, "The phone does stop ringing in your career, and you start asking yourself why. There are many reasons, but was this one of them? I think it was." End quote. Number 8. Roseanne Barr. Roseanne Barr is one actress and comedian who is a vocal supporter of Donald Trump. This automatically makes her one of Hollywood's most controversial figures. However, it was in May 2018 when one of her outspoken political Twitter rants finally went a step too far when she tweeted a racist mark about Valeria Jarrett, a senior advisor to former President Barack Obama. Even though Roseanne ended up deleting the tweet and issuing an apology, the damage had already been done. ABC canceled the Roseanne reboot the very same day, with the company's president labeling her remarks, quote, "abhorrent, repugnant, and inconsistent with our values." End quote. Yikes, that's harsh. Although it's still pretty early to tell, people have predicted that we won't be seeing Roseanne Barr being offered many roles in the future after this scandal. Number 7. Tippi Hedren. Tippi Hedren entered Hollywood as a fashion model in her early 20s. However, she got her big break in Hollywood after being discovered by filmmaker Alfred Hitchcock. She then went on to star in 2 of Hitchcock's films, one suspense thriller, The Birds, 1963, and a psychological drama, Marnie, 1964. But it wasn't long until things went south between the two. It has been reported that Hitchcock made many sexual advances toward Hedren, who turned him down. He told filmmakers that Marnie would be the end of their partnership. Then, an enraged Hitchcock threatened to ruin her career and refused to release Hedren from her contract. This prevented Hedren from getting work for 2 years until the contract was sold in 1966. However, fortunately for Hedren, her acting career was eventually recovered, and she later went on to become a vocal animal rights activist as well. Number 6. Monique. Monique, or Monique Angela Hicks, is a comedian actor who first gained attention for her stand-up shows. She also rose to popularity from her show as Nicole Nikki Parker in the UPN series The Parkers, which ran on TV from 1999 to 2004. Monique got her big break in 2009 when she played an abusive mother in Lee Daniels' Precious. Her role earned her critical praise and even an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. However, ever since her big win for Precious, Monique's film and TV roles have been very scarce. While interviewing with The Hollywood Reporter in 2015, the actress blamed how she had handled the 2010 Oscar campaign for Precious as the reason for her dried-up film and TV roles. According to Monique, Lee Daniels herself had implied the same to her in a phone call, stating that Hollywood had banned her because she didn't play the game. In a subsequent interview, Lee Daniels confirmed what Monique had said, further stating, quote, "Her demands through Precious were not always in line with the campaign. This soured her relationship with the Hollywood community." End quote. Number 5. Isaiah Washington. Washington is known as a Hollywood veteran for many years. He has dozens of television and movie credits to his name, but one role that sticks out from the many is definitely his role as Preston Burke in Grey's Anatomy. However, his time at Grey's Anatomy came to an end when he used a homophobic slur for a castmate. This also led him to be banned from Hollywood. And as if one homophobic slur wasn't enough, the actor used the slur again after the show won a Golden Globe, ultimately ruining his entire career in Hollywood. Although he's still seen here and there, like on The 100, where he has a recurring role, Washington is just not working as much as he could have been after his success on Grey's Anatomy. Number 4. Mel Gibson. Gibson has been a very successful and popular actor and director throughout the 80s and 90s and 2000s. However, his very public freakouts damaged his career beyond recognition. After a drunk driving incident, another no-no, he went on a giant anti-Semitic rant, making headlines all over the world. Not only that, but he also made scandal when tapes of him screaming racist remarks and using the N-word at his then-girlfriend were leaked. She later alleged that Gibson was physically abusive and had been in trouble before his homophobic comments. Even though it has been over a decade since Hollywood banned him from his words and actions, there are only a handful of fans who seem to have forgiven him. The Hollywood elite and other people still have trouble forgetting the things he has done and said. Many people, like us, wonder if Mel Gibson still has a career. After receiving a 10-minute standing ovation at the Venice Film Festival, where Hacksaw Ridge had premiered, he went on to receive 6 Oscar nominations. So maybe Hollywood is ready to welcome him back as a director. Possible, but we might not know for sure until Gibson directs another movie. Number 3. CeeLo Green. CeeLo Green got his start in Hollywood as a musical act in the mid-1990s and has been a part of the industry ever since. However, it wasn't until his hit song, F*** You, came out in 2010 that he became more popularly known. The song peaked number 2 on the Billboard charts, after which Green used his success to become a judge on The Voice, and even ended up getting his own TV show. However, he soon became the cause of his own downfall. Green ended up destroying his Hollywood career when he tweeted some very insensitive remarks on the topic of rape and homophobia, after which Hollywood completely blacklisted him. He lost his TV show, his spot as a judge on The Voice, and many of his scheduled concert gigs didn't want him to perform for them anymore. The singer did apologize for his controversial tweets on Twitter, but things had already turned sour for him. Not just that, the singer was also accused of putting ecstasy into a woman's drink during a date, after which the woman claimed she had no memory of the period between dining with Green and waking up naked in his bed. Considering all that he has said and done, we don't expect to see him back in Hollywood anytime soon. Number 2. Thora Birch. Thora Birch is another child star who acted in many notable films, such as Hocus Pocus, which is played in every household each year on Halloween. It was in the late 1990s and early 2000s when her evolution from a child star to a bona fide actress was complete. However, people still wonder why she's not a bigger star now, considering how hot her career had been when she first started. Well, one rumor states that she has been blacklisted due to her father and manager reportedly physically treating a co-star, which quickly led to her being fired. After that, her career took a serious hit, and no one in Hollywood wanted to work with her. Although she has recently returned to acting here and there, she never went on to become the huge star people expected her to when she first entered the industry. Number 1. Charlie Sheen. Last but not the least, Charlie Sheen is one of the most popular blacklisted individuals in Hollywood, and it's safe to say there isn't anyone who could beat Charlie Sheen's record for public breakdowns. Charlie started his career as one of the highest-paid TV actors on the planet. However, now he's mostly remembered for his drug-induced and very public freakouts only a few years back. This led to him losing his job on 2.5 Men, ultimately missing out on the $2 million he was paid per episode. And not only that, but also ruining his image until he was only seen as a man who had clearly lost his mind after years of drinking and drugs. However, even though Charlie is still seen on screens a little, most companies want nothing more than to avoid him and his ridiculous antics. And they're not wrong too. We know we wouldn't want to be around for any of his meltdowns. So for his banishment from Hollywood, Charlie Sheen has no one to blame but himself. And there you have it, folks. 10 celebrities who have been banned from Hollywood. Do you know of more celebrities who have been banned? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.